okay. I want to share some videos on how you can work on your lymphatic system yourself. I know there's a lot out there already, but sometimes it takes a different perspective for it to really sink in. And there's also a lot of confusion. So what I'm going to share with you today is very simple, very straightforward. And if you have a compromised lymphatic system, if you have lymph nodes removed, or if you have lymphedema, this is not going to be exactly it for you. There will be other videos, but this one is for perfectly intact lymphatic system. And I also wanted to kind of pull in some other elements and create this intersection that makes it a little bit more interesting. So I am going on this trip. I'm traveling by plane, by rental car, and I wanted to offer a 2024 fall lookbook because I'm going to New Hampshire. The weather is a little different there than it is here in sunny Fort Worth. And what is good for us is good for the earth. And what is good for the earth is good for us. So I just wanted to offer that perspective, that lens, and make it fun. And hopefully you get something out of this and just enjoy the overall expression. Okay, I am traveling this weekend for a few days to go see my family, and I'm traveling by plane. I'm going to New Hampshire, so distance. And I really had to think a while on if I was going to bring my Cotopaxi to pack my stuff in or my hard shell on wheels. I'm gonna bring my purse as well, but yeah, pros and cons. Ultimately, I am going with my hard shell. So here's why I made that call. I love my Cotopaxi. I love traveling with a backpack. It sort of makes me feel safe. But I don't like, when I'm on an airplane, like the air is so gross and stale, and my body temperature has a hard time regulating to that. So even if I'm cold, I'm kind of cold sweating, and I really don't want the straps to be like on my armpits any more than I'm already going to have a sweater. Like, I'm in Texas now, so it's pretty warm here still, 70s, 80s, high 80s today. I haven't looked that much into what it's going to be like in New Hampshire, but it's October, it's fall foliage season. I'm gonna be pretty chilly, so I don't really want layers of hoodie and jacket on my armpits, and then the straps of my backpack as well. So that's a big thing for me. My hard shell also, you can wash it, you can sterilize it. You can wash the Cotopaxi, but the hard shell, you can just sort of spray it down with some rubbing alcohol or a wipe really easily while you're on the go. And, you know, airplanes, again, they're just gross. So I am trying to keep it clean. All right, I've got everything sort of laid out that are my base kind of staple pieces, and pretty much everything is gifted, thrifted, or family heirloom, with the exception of 2 pieces, just 2 sweaters, I think, and 1 pair of pants. This coat, super nice wool coat, gifted to me by a friend. I'm super excited to wear that this fall. I will always have a scarf or something around my neck for winter. These pants, okay, so I'm going to New Hampshire. We're gonna have like a couple dinners out. These are super sweet pinstripe suit pants that came with a full suit at a thrift store in Atlanta. It's for, it's like a boy's suit, and it fits me perfectly. Because I'm gonna be cold, I'm gonna bring a base layer. So some warm leggings. Got these at a thrift store. Corduroys, super sweet. didn't try them on at the store, couldn't try them on, and they fit great, so love that. I've got an artist sweatshirt here, which I love, and then also this one is too, and this one is like it's got like a protection spell on it, so I always take this one with me while I'm traveling. It's really nice to have those essential pieces that you kind of, I don't know, imbue or just feel like they're magical and have different purposes. Sometimes I'll wear my peridot earrings for anxiety, which I don't really expect to have a lot of anxiety on this trip. There's no layover, so the layover is usually what gets me. Because I anticipate dressing up a little bit, I also thrifted this Sweet Express shirt, which I actually have it in like a cream color that I bought from Express, but this one I found and I was like, oh, I know I love it already, so I got it. And I'm gonna be wearing my blunt stones just because we're gonna be tromping around, but I also thrifted these sweet Victorian little booties years and years ago at the Dublin, Virginia flea market, which, if you've ever been there, is quite magical. So these are just the basics, and I am excited to be wearing mostly secondhand clothing on this trip. Of course, I'm gonna bring my lymphatic brushes because I want my family to be able to experience them, and whenever I get to see them, I like to spoil them a little bit with some body work. Medistick asked me to review their product since I work with clients who experience pain, and that includes myself. Muscle and joint pain. Muscle and joint pain. This is a roll-on, I believe. And then this is more like a deodorant stick. I'm really excited to try these. I definitely have a lot of aches and pains. They come and go, and I'll probably talk about that more on here. Just sharing techniques and tactics. Very cute. The last thing I wanted to share that I'm bringing with me is a little guidebook. I'm hosting a retreat. I'm co-hosting in a couple weeks, and we made a whole guidebook for the retreat that our guests can take with them and reuse whenever they want to as an at-home retreat. And I'm really excited about that. So it's cute, and I wanted to share it, and I want my family to see it first. So they're gonna get it in their hands before my retreat guests do. Because I'm getting on a plane, I am going to do full body lymphatic drainage for myself, which I recommend to all my clients, especially for clients who've had any surgeries or mastectomy, especially lymph node removal, even sentinel lymph node biopsy. I've got my water here. You want to stay hydrated. That's like rule number one of your lymphatic system. I put a tiny little bit of sea salt in here. And yeah, you're maybe going to, you'll maybe have to pee. So I tell my clients, don't get yourself in a position after you've had lymphatic drainage where you're trying to finish something. Like if you're typing, you're like, oh, I'll just finish this page. Or if you're reading, just go to the bathroom if you have to go, because you're moving so much fluid in your body and you want what needs to get out. Some of it will be recycled, some of it will be peed out. So we just want to help that process. I typically have a high chance of getting sick when I travel by plane, so I want to give my immune system the best shot that it can have at fighting anything off that I come across. So I'm going to use the lymphatic brushes today. They're by Cecily Braden if you want to look them up, but I did grab my dry brush just in case there's any confusion. I'm not going to be using a dry brush today, so Dry brushing is great for the lymphatic system if you're very gentle. If your skin is pinking up when you're using your dry brush, you're using it a little too hard for the lymphatic system, you're still gonna get great blood flow benefits and exfoliation, but two separate things. So this is my dry brush, pretty hefty, and this is a lymphatic brush. So you can see it's got these little nubs that's gonna kind of massage and grab the skin. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm always looking for a skin stretch. So they're beautiful and they're super soft. This is not like a dry brush at all. When you touch it, it feels like velvet. So I'll be using those today, but I am just gonna start here at the opening and just drop in. I'm pulling my skin down towards my heart and taking some deep breaths. If you have had lymph node removal, this is a protocol that will change a little bit for you. So this is like for your healthy, intact, totally intact lymphatic system. If you are lymphatically compromised even years ago, like even decades ago, you are gonna wanna change this up slightly, and I will get more into that later. I'm gonna come up just below the ears, and again, I'm pulling down. I'm already feeling a little relaxed just because it is so rhythmic and repetitive. I'm grabbing the skin over my shoulders, on my neck, and pulling towards my heart. And I'm gonna grab, I've got two brushes, big one, little one. I'm gonna grab my bigger one and come just below my ear, swoop down. So there's all kinds of techniques that you can really get into. If you are interested in this kind of work, if you receive this work from an esthetician or a massage therapist, you will likely, this will be a basic, like you'll get something a little more technical. Strokes will be a little bit more technical. This is just a quick and dirty. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna give my lymphatic system a little bit of a boost. And I also want you to see how easy it can be. It doesn't have to be complicated. All right, I've opened here, kind of done some swoops here. I'm gonna come into my armpits and just massage. You can think of a sponge. I tell all my clients, think of your lymph nodes like a sponge. When you press a sponge full of water, the water is gonna trickle out and then the sponge will be ready to absorb more water. I love this analogy for the lymph nodes. And then when we are pulling the skin towards our lymph nodes, you can think of that like a road. So our vessels run everywhere our circulatory system is, and the vessels are more like the roads. Lymph nodes are more like your gas station where you would like stop and adjust fluid levels, clean out the car, that kind of thing. Okay, so as I'm doing this, I'm breathing deeply. I'm gonna pan down a little bit so you can see my stomach. I'm gonna give my stomach just a little bit of a massage. I'm moving clockwise. I'm gonna pan down a little bit more. Okay, lymph nodes here, right in the groin. Again, if you receive a lymphatic massage, this is all going to be a lot more technical. All right, we've opened our lymph nodes. I'm gonna take my big brush again, and I'm gonna start at my first joint. So, first joint from the lymph nodes that I opened. So it's gonna be my elbow. It's so light. You can sort of see the trails, the white trails on my skin. My skin pinks up really easily, so okay, I'm gonna move down to my wrist. My whole forearm. I'm leaning on the chair here. I'm gonna come up, just clearing my hand. Same thing on the other side. Lymphatic drainage can be really daunting if you've never done it before or if you're just starting out, because there's a lot of mixed messaging. And it's also just kind of hot right now for everyone to have their own process. So that can be confusing too when someone's telling you, like, you're getting this messaging that like you have to do it a certain way. You have to start at the top of the head first, or you have to start at the collarbones first. When I come to the inside of a joint, so inside of my elbow here, I'm gonna use a little bit more pressure because I've got lymph nodes in there. We all have lymph nodes in there as well. So again, like the sponge, you want to use a little bit of pressure. This is so quick. It would never be this quick for my clients on the table. But you certainly can do a quick, I usually call it a quick and dirty lymphatic refresh. All right, upper body's feeling good. Go back to the neck. Okay, for legs, it's the same idea. You're gonna clear what's closest to the heart first, and then you're gonna move down. You can just use the same analogy, the road. You know, the lymphatic vessels are the roads, the lymph nodes are the gas stations. If you were traveling from your finger, the tip of your finger, and you're trying to get to your armpit, and there's backed up traffic the whole way, what are you gonna clear first? Are you gonna try to move these cars first? No, you're gonna move these cars first. So we've cleared our lymph nodes. There are inguinal lymph nodes here. And I'm gonna bring my leg up so you can see. I'm gonna start at the knee. come down here, maybe just clear these lymph nodes behind the knee. Remember, there's lymph nodes everywhere you've got a joint, pretty much. So use a little pressure behind the knee. And that's going to be a broad pressure, like your whole hand, not like you're poking in. We're not trying to poke on blood vessels and vulnerable structures. Okay, that's my right leg. Starting at the knee. Maybe do a little pump here. Okay. Okay, when I'm done with everything, I'm going to come back to the neck. This will be the first and the last place. And that's it.